With this being the 15th F1 game by Codemasters and EA, what has changed for F1 23? And is it better than the very disappointing F1 22 of last year? We start first with Breaking Point 2.
Previously, in Breaking Point.
Aiden, please tell us, how does it feel to be on the verge of getting behind the wheel for your very first race?
I feel like a little kid. I look around and I'm surrounded by my heroes.
And tell me about Casper Ackerman. How is that relationship coming along?
It wasn't my fault.
Well, whose fault was it then?
He tried to stop them from signing you. Didn't want to play babysitter. We all feel sorry for you, mate. You never stood a chance with him.
I had a call this morning from Christian Horner. You're being watched.
You know what his problem is, don't you? Thinks you're getting too old.
You want respect, you give respect. That's how it works.
How about you give me a little respect?
How about you earn it first? I'm done.
You what?
I'm retiring.
We're midway through the Miami Grand Prix. It's been a cracking race so far, and it's all up for grabs.
Absolutely, Crofty. Some fantastic driving here today. Especially, I have to say, from Aiden Jackson. I don't think I've ever seen the Connor Sport car being put through its paces quite like this.
This is a team, Connor Sport, that have got a lot to prove this season, but Jackson might just be the man to do it.
Okay, Aiden, nice job so far. Let's try and bring that gap down to the car ahead if you can. Copy that.
Yes, so the fictional EastEnders come Drive to Survive narrative-led gameplay has returned for F1 23 after being missing from last year's game, and this year there has been a few improvements to the narrative-led gameplay, including the introduction of a fictional team that you actually get to drive for, which is Connor Sport. But anyone who has played Grid Legends will know exactly what to expect from this mode, minus of course the very dodgy acting skills which the former game had in store for us. This of course is still all in CGI, but very much like Breaking Point 1 and just really a continuation of the story. So let's get into the meat and the potatoes of this game then. We've seen Breaking Point, it's now time to move on to Career, which a lot of people were worried that it wasn't going to be included in this game, but it is there. Single player career exists and the two player career, but unfortunately it looks like no improvements have really been made much to the My Team or the driver career modes. So we start with the driver. I think we're going to skip to F1. You can start in F2 once again. You can do a full season, or once again you can do a custom season. So there you go. So here is our career, which we're going to start. Of course, we have to select our driver, our avatar, and everything else that is pretty standard. And then we can select which team to drive in. Now, once again, you can choose any team, so you don't have to start in a back marker, which is great news. We pick our teammate, and away we go. This is now the driver career. And one thing I do like this year is the fact that the backgrounds are now black instead of white. The white was very, very bright indeed and wasn't very good for your eyesight. It used to give me a headache, but now it's all in black as the background, so I do prefer it. But apart from that, as you can see, nothing else has changed from last year. But one thing that has changed is the car reveal.
Welcome back finally to the hustle and bustle of Formula One. The F1 2023 World Championship is about to get underway. We cannot wait to get started. Last season saw the biggest raft of regulation changes in years, and we're excited to see more of that wheel-to-wheel racing. The big question is though, can anyone challenge the dominance of Max Verstappen and Red Bull?
So here we go then, in either the driver career or the My Team. We're in the driver career right now. As you can see, some improvements have been made to the graphics. It really does look very nice indeed on F1 23. I'm not quite sure though about the head-up display. That looks a little bit too cartoonish and a bit too much like an arcade racing game, like one of the early Burnouts, to be honest. But anyway, we continue on. Everything is looking very swish indeed, as you can see, as we are just going around on some of the practice sessions. But yes, it's either My Team or driver career. you know what to do now. You've been playing these games for a very, very long time. In fact, my team's been around since F1 2020. You start with a very poor car, build up the resource points and everything else, your facilities, and build up to hopefully a championship winning car in a whole 10 seasons. If you can actually get to the end of 10 seasons and you can be a world champion. Yes, it's pretty standard stuff. My team and the driver career are pretty much the same. No differences. In my team, you actually get to choose the livery of your car and you stay with that car for the whole of the 10 seasons. In the driver career, of course, you can swap teams and go into any team you want to. If you want to go into a faster team and get a better chance of winning the championship, then you can do so. So let's move on now to F1 World, the much talked about point of F1 23, and here it is. It's basically an online version of my team. Yes, basically you've got this tech level. You must build your tech level up to a decent performance, and it actually improves on the car that you are driving for the whole of this F1 world. I've seen lots of people actually getting their tech level up to about 1,000 already, which is great stuff. I'm still on 100. I haven't really touched this actual point of the game, and you've got lots of stuff to do, as you can see, and they are going to update the events constantly throughout the season, so that's going to be good. So all these events here are going to be added to throughout the rest of the season, so that's great to see indeed. And I do like the fact that you can get the chance to actually race with your friends. Of course, they are only AI, but it's great to see, like, you know, names up on the screen in the left hand corner. But of course, this was all done years and years before in the Forza games, I do believe, when you used to have like famous F1 YouTubers with their names above the cars. So it's nothing really new that's added to the table, but it is great to see on an F1 game to be able to drive against some of the people that you can't actually beat in real life. And so that's pretty much it. Our primary objective has been completed, and that's what you do. You just win races and get parts bolted onto your car. We get a power unit upgrade and we get some cash as well. Now, I'm not quite sure that this mode is going to be as good as Codemasters are obviously hoping that it's going to be, but we will see what happens as the year unfolds with this mode, and also how the little extra bits that they're going to bolt onto it pan out towards the end of the season. But I just can't help but feel that a lot of people aren't really going to pay much attention to this mode, and it's probably going to get left by the wayside in possibly 2 or 3 months. But we'll wait and see what happens. Anyway, we move on now to local multiplayer, and once again we have got split screen, or you can have a LAN game. You can play with someone else in the same room. Yes, fantastic. We've got league racing, of course, which is great for anyone who's got a league, because you can just save all the settings at the end of your first league race, and when you return, all those settings will be straight back at you again, ready for you to start racing again. And we move on to the store now, and of course that contains all the microtransactions that everyone's going to need for this game. And of course we've got the theatre mode as well, which saves your replay of the races you just raced, and then you can maybe upload them to YouTube and get 1 million views. Who knows? So to summarise on this game, I'd just like to say that this year the handling model on F1 23 is absolutely fantastic. If you're a pad player, you are going to absolutely love the handling of this game, and it really does make you want to play again, unlike F1 22. And the AI this year is much improved. Last year they were very prone to dive bombs and actually pushing you and smashing you out of the way. This year, if you go deep into a corner and go towards them, they will get out of the way, which is great to see. And once again, it encourages you to come back and start playing this game. So what about the justification for a yearly update and another £10 on the price? Well, I have to say, no, it's not really worth it at that price just for a yearly update. The one thing I will say is, though, that this game's only really just been out just over a week, and already there is being discounted heavily. So if you look around, you can probably pick up this game for around about the £45 to £50 bracket. So yes, I would recommend F1 23. The handling compared to F1 22 is absolute night and day, especially for pad players, and you will love playing this game if you've got a pad. That's a cast iron guarantee from me. Anyway, this has been a review of F1 23.